few in. All right. So glad you're all here. And Jolene, thanks for letting us use your Zoom number. This is awesome to be able to do this. And anybody have an oil story for the week? Anything that has helped you or benefited your life in any way with some of these natural directions? I'll start with one while you're thinking, and I'll ask you. I was on Facebook for a few minutes this morning, and a friend of mine who has suffered from thyroid cancer, she's 6 years free of cancer, she put on her post this morning, and then she had a picture of bone nutrient, doTERRA's bone nutrient, and she said that's just one of the things she's really had to keep track of, and that her bones have improved. And it was quite a long post. She told all the details. And then she put at the very bottom of her post, and I am not a doTERRA wellness advocate. And I thought, well, you are an advocate for the product or you wouldn't be posting. But I commented on it and said, I am a doTERRA wellness advocate, would love helping people with natural things. But it made me really happy that she thought so much of it that she would make a post about it. And I take the bone nutrient every day because at my last well check, which I'm due to go in again, they told me I had the beginnings of osteoporosis. So I started taking the bone nutrient morning and afternoon. And when I have my next bone density test, it'll be interesting to see how it compares. All right, so that's my story. Anybody else have something else they'd like to share about this week? Something that's been good for them?
My constant is adaptive.
Ooh, keeping you what?
Just at peace. So like those who have heard me talk a little bit about it is I take it a lot of the most of the time when I'm going to interact with my 90-year-old mother, who is having a more difficult time all the time and remembers a conversation for about 5 minutes and then repeats it, 20 times in the hour type of a thing. And I refuse to get angry with her or treat her like, you've already told me that, like my sisters do. And so I refuse to do that. And she needed some extra time the other day. And I was starting to walk out the door, and one of my daughters that was living with us said, did you take the adaptive? I went, oh, thank you. I almost forgot. And I was so glad that I did, because my mom needed a whole day of time with me. And I was able to, we live in Panguitch. Cedar is like a little over an hour away. I picked her up and says, we're going to lunch. And so it's this long drive over there, spend the day there and long time back. And she had the most delightful time. It's exactly what she needed. And I was able to be present during the whole thing and make it a memorable experience for both of us. So I'm eternally grateful for adaptive because of how it helps me just stay balanced and calm. And I cherish that.
That is wonderful. Love it. Okay, Shirley.
Well, I have trouble sleeping at night, and my blood pressure medication drops my blood pressure significantly, which then I fall asleep, but I wake up about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and then I have a hard time going back to sleep. So when you mentioned the adaptive, I thought, wait a minute, I have been putting that and Dream on the bottom of my feet before I go to bed. And when I do that, I'll sleep for 6 hours before I wake up instead of just the 2 or 3, which has been great.
That's awesome.
That is fantastic. Yes. Oh my goodness. That's a huge difference. If we can get longer blocks of sleep, our body, everything's better. Better. Ah, love it. Charlene, glad you're here too. All right.
I still haven't noticed anything with blood pressure or blood sugar though. I've filled up some more capsules again this morning, and
good for you.
But I've been taking them ever since I left Texas. Remember the ones we filled?
Yes. I haven't. I need to do that because
I haven't noticed any difference at all with the blood pressure or the blood sugar. Lane suggested doing the mate tea too with my hibiscus oil. Yeah. I mean, with my hibiscus flowers, because I think that's supposed to help with blood sugar. So we'll see. I'm just trying a lot of different things, which is
And keep us,
overwhelming in and
yes,
of itself, because, you know, every morning, because you don't have hibiscus oil or a mate oil.
I know,
So
sorry
I
about
had,
that.
so I had to make the tea, but, and then every morning, but anyway, so still working on that problem.
Keep us
Have you
in the
tried-
loop.
Have you tried any of the MetaPower stuff for your blood sugars?
No, I haven't tried that for blood sugar. I tried
Okay.
it for other stuff. I did it for 3 months and I didn't notice any difference on it. The only thing I noticed, I was telling Shalene, was that my hair stopped falling out.
Okay.
So
So
I did notice that.
I am diabetic, and the one that I find makes the biggest difference for me is the MetaPower Assist. So it's the one that you take for just an average person. You just take it a half hour before your first meal or your biggest meal, and it grabs onto the carbs and releases them more slowly into your blood system. I being a diabetic, I take it with almost every meal that I have, and I do 2 or 3 of them, but I'm insulin dependent. And when I do that, I see a difference in my blood sugar. And then for your sleep, try to help your blood pressure during the night. Have you tried Shinrin Yuku?
That's a new
No,
one.
but I do have the blood pressure medication that I take at night, which does make it go down
Okay.
significantly, so that it's not a problem at night. It's just that when you drop your blood pressure significantly all at once, it does make you fall asleep.
Mhm.
But then when it starts to come back up, that's when I would wake up. And so,
Interesting.
but putting those 2 things on the bottom of my feet before I go to bed, I have found that I haven't, the nights that I do it, I do not wake up at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. I wake up at 6:30, which is
That is
fine. Even
huge.
if
Awesome.
you know, going to sleep at midnight, it didn't matter. I would still wake up 2 or 3 hours later, but now it's nice. That's nice.
So Shirley, keep that up, because that alone may help your blood pressure, because
It
you're getting
might,
more
and
solid sleep.
that's the one thing I was thinking, you know, they put me on a CPAP machine because I wasn't sleeping right. But the CPAP did not make any difference for me, because I keep waking up every time you move because it's in your way. You know, it's just a pain. But putting those 2 products on my feet, has made a big difference.
I love it. I love it. Oh, Patty's here too, and Mara and Janalee. Thanks for coming, everybody. Patty must be
Shireen,
cool. Woohoo! Yes.
this is Glenda.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. I can't see myself anymore, but I got a box of the MetaPower Advantage for Milena.
Uh-huh.
And she we were both taking it every day, and the other day she said, what is that supposed to do? Because I noticed, well, she works at night, and she goes up 3 flights of stairs to where she works. And she said, I noticed that my legs weren't hurting and I could go up the stairs easier when I was doing that. So what's it supposed to do? So
That's
she
so
was,
funny to take it not knowing what it's supposed to do. I love that.
yeah.
So
And
the
so it
MetaPower
definitely helped.
Advantage has collagen in it, 9 kinds. So it's not just skin help you're getting brain help and muscle help and joint help and all those things. And I just turned 62 yesterday, and I put my post on Facebook as, I feel better than I have in over 15 years. I can't remember what I said, but in a long time. And I credit MetaPower Advantage and Lifelong Vitality. It is just making me feel young again. My body is getting the MNN and the collagen that it needs. MNN is something, MNN, not sure which way it is, Patty. Which way is it? Yeah, you're muted.
Hold on, it's MNM.
Thank you. MNN. And I don't even know what it is, but it's something our body makes, because I'm not scientific. I don't want to know. Patty, don't want to know. Okay. But what it
Let's
does,
just suffice it to say, if you get it on prescription, it's $400 a dose.
that's about all I wanted to say, was doTERRA has taken the time to put it in this product. And it is something that people go to a doctor and pay big bucks just to have it intravenously put into their body. So they have really outdone themselves with MetaPower Advantage. So I love it. Thanks for sharing that, Glenda. All right, we're going to get started because I have so much wonderful information about our skin. Please feel free to chat, open, unmute, and talk. I love having interaction.
Well, but
And-
I get to introduce her.
Oh,
So
I
I'll be
forgot.
really, really fast about that. So, and I know most of you know all of this information, but just I love everything about Shalene. But she's a mother of 8. And how many grandkids is it now?
25, 26 is on the way.
Yeah,
And another boy.
it keeps increasing every time we talk. So we're both kind of right there together. She just has more children. I have 6 and they pretty much stopped having kids. So but anyway, she has a passion for music in every single way, in singing it, in writing it, in leading it, in performing, and in teaching. And music is just a part of her. And she even writes songs, some of the most coolest songs. Did you know that she's written all the music for at least one? How many plays have you written the music for?
Anyway.
A lot. So it's just really, really fun, and I had the opportunity not too long ago to sit at their piano while her and Joe she was playing and the two of them were singing songs that they had written and stuff. It was just delightful. And you guys know how talented she is that way. But she's extremely passionate about helping people. She helps them through music. She just lives a life of service. But one of the ways that she has chosen to be of service to others is through doTERRA. It's just one of her avenues that she's chosen to serve, because it gives us so many powerful opportunities to truly impact lives. So with that, we'll turn the time over to Shalene.
Thanks. Always fun to make yourself feel good before you talk. That's great. I really do enjoy music, and it's funny how I do a lot of music and then I don't take time for music for months at a time. And Saturday night, somebody called me and said, my family's singing in church tomorrow and our pianist just died. And I thought of you because you can play anything. And so she sent me the music and I got to go accompany this family, and they sang in Hawaiian. It was so cool. They sang the most beautiful song in Hawaiian, and I couldn't really follow because I couldn't understand the words, but luckily it was smooth enough that I could get the feel for it. But anyway, that was an awesome experience. I love what music brings in my life. I'm getting goosebumps because I just feel so blessed. So blessed. So many good things. All right, I'm going to share my screen because I've made really cool slide presentation. I need permission to use the screen. If I could, Jolene, I should have mentioned that sooner. And let me try again. Whoa, let me try that again. Now it's showing your screen instead of giving me permission to show mine. Boy, it's been a while since I gave somebody permission. Still not letting me do it. I'm going to let you work on that, and I'm going to start talking. Okay, let me know when you've got that figured out. We're going to talk about not just skin today, but we're going to talk about summertime and skin. And that's a time that we're outside more often. And I actually was able to watch another class by somebody who, I'm just so glad Patty's here. Patty's my scientific guru, and it just makes me feel so good to have somebody here who can keep me on track and help me know how to say things. And
You have it now, Shalene.
thank you. And so when I started preparing this class, I thought, you know what, there's a lot more to this than just taking good care of our skin, because we really do need to be careful about our skin in the sun and when we go outside. All right, can you see my natural summer picture? Yes, great, great. Okay, so of course I put a few products on here, and I am going to talk about some products, but I really am going to talk about just skin and some great things for our skin. Our skin is our largest organ, and it's more like a sponge than it is a barrier from everything out there. Most products on the market contain ingredients that pollute our bodies and the environment. I just got back from having my hair cut, and I go to a lady who cuts hair at a retirement home, and I walked in to go down to her door, and somebody that worked there had a tag on, was walking down the hallway just spraying something. And I was like, and what is she spraying just out of the blue? And as I passed by her, it smelled okay, but it was lemony. I'm sure it was the odor in their place that they were trying to make smell better. Anyway, so many things. I don't know what she was spraying. I hope it was natural, but most products contain things that pollute our bodies and pollute the environment. And so essential oils, they improve our skin issues. They do it safely without preservatives, chemicals, or harsh ingredients. And then instead of toxic side effects, we've got healthy benefits from our essential oils. And then I just really had fun making these slides because Immortelle is just all the best oils that there are. And I don't know that people know about that product. It is really the best there is. And I'll talk more about it later. And the other cool thing about using essential oils is like clary sage treats acne and smooths wrinkles, but it's also a natural antidepressant. So that's the other benefit of using essential oils. We're getting the best things for our skin. We're going to talk about a lot of those oils, but we're getting added benefits because they're good for so many things. All right, summer do's and don'ts. So the things we do need to do, of course, stay hydrated, drink lots of water, wear sunscreen. I'm going to talk about doTERRA sunscreen and the difference. Regularly exfoliate, which is not something I do, but I know it's good for us. I do it. I just don't do it on a regular basis or have a certain time that I do it. But we've got skin that sloughs off, and so it's good for us to do that. And be consistent and continue in our regular routine through the summer, even though we're maybe out of routine from what we would normally do. I thought this was interesting that when the class I went to, she said, don't focus on correcting services. And I was like, is she going to tell us what correcting services are? Because I don't know what those are. And then she went on to talk about chemical peels and other things that you do to your skin. And I guess the suggestion is don't do that in the summertime when you're going to be in the sun more. And don't overuse active products that slough off your skin. And she talked about things, certain kinds of things that we use in our skin that pull away from the skin because that leaves our skin unprotected when we're going out in the sun. So it's in the summertime, don't do those things quite as much. And then don't worship the sun. I can remember when I had just met Shirley's brother, Joe, and I had gone home for the summer and I was going back to visit Joe and I was going to be tan. I was going to be the tannest, darkest thing and I spent time out there putting the baby oil on and laying in the sun. And I remember the pictures. I thought about trying to find one because I was really skinny and cute back then. But I got dark and I looked great. So I was one of those sun worshipers and anxious to look dark and tan. There wasn't many times in my life I did that, but that was one time that I did it. But we're not supposed to do that because sun's not good for us. All right, as much. We're going to talk about how it is good for us. Just have to be careful. Skin types and conditions. So you get to decide what kind of skin type you have. Are you normal, oily, dry, or combination of both? But that's different than skin conditions. Some of us are aging. Some of us are dehydrated and we don't drink enough water. Some of us have sensitive skin, hyperpigmentation, and acne. And I'm going to talk about a little later some ways that you can figure out the kinds of skin types that you have. All right, these are slides from the class I went to. And so the picture is not the best, but I just wanted you to have this. Take a picture of the screen if that applies to you. If you're dry skin or aging skin, these oils are fantastic. And I love the way that she put it together. Oop, I left my cursor on there. So D is for dry skin. W is for wrinkles, wrinkly skin. A is for aging skin. And then she puts the little sun when it's UV sensitive. And you're going to see that a lot today because oils that are usually fruity oils, things that have limonene in them, you're going to be sun sensitive. You're not going to put those oils on your skin and then go out in the sun. It will make the sun affect your skin in a negative way. So want to be careful of that. So watch for the UV sensitizing marks on some of these. So that's just a great picture. I hope you got a picture of that if you're thinking you have dry or aging skin. Then oils for hyperpigmentation or scars. We all have different parts of our body that have had that we have certain pigmentation that we maybe don't like, or scars, and the sun affects that skin differently. And so this list of oils right here, I love that she's put this here for age spots, hyperpigmentation, and ways to regenerate your skin. I put grapefruit on my arms every day, and I know that sounds silly, but I've lost 100 pounds and I have a hangy, saggy skin here that I don't like. And I literally spray my arms and put the grapefruit all over it every day. And I love the way my skin has responded and looks, even though I still have hangy skin there. But it also talks about steering clear of coconut oil on the face. And she gave us lots of suggestions for other things for the face, and just saying that they work better. We'll talk more about that on another slide too. All right, oils for oily skin, and take a picture of this if you have oily skin. It's so funny that I know I don't have oily skin, because I can tell when other people do. When I see somebody else that does have oily skin, that's the one I really notice, because you can kind of see the moisture. And when it comes to oiliness, many people think their skin doesn't need any moisturizer, and that is not true. A good nourishing moisturizer will not only keep your skin hydrated, but help balance the amount of oil in your skin. And that's why I love this list of oils, and watch the sun sensitivity, because those who have oily skin can use these oils to help their skin not be quite so oily. All right, then we get into why make a change. And here's the words that I might need help with from Patty. There are so many things in our purchase products that we need to be aware of. Nanomaterials, I can understand how to say, but it says that products containing nanomaterials require no special labeling. These tiny particles can penetrate cell walls and organ tissue, causing cell death. So that's pretty crazy. I don't know how to say the next one, Patty. Starts with a P.
It's the PH is an F sound, so it's phthalates.
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 Okay.
Yeah, FTHL. It's a terrible, terrible word.
Yeah.
And these are carcinogenic fragrances and chemicals that are added in a laboratory that have been shown to penetrate the skin within 26 seconds of being applied in sunscreen, moisturizers, all of those fruity smelling multicolored like shampoos and conditioners and body sprays and stuff like that. They have been shown in laboratory tests to be carcinogenic. They do soak into the body, and they do get into the bloodstream. Some of them have been rumored to cross the blood-brain barrier and enter neurological cells. Not all of them do, but without a definitive list, how do you know?
Yeah, and many products that we buy have phthalates in them.
Perfect. Perfect. You did it.
Thank you. And then the word fragrance sounds so simple, but it is a common ingredient in so many products that we purchase. Just so many. And when they put fragrance, it can be anything. It can have a lot of things in there that are not good. It is found in 90% of products and can include any of 3,000 synthetic chemicals, including potential hormone disruptors, neurotoxins, and phthalates, and they can cause depression, hyperactivity, and irritability.
Yeah, those are the really scary ones, because we don't know what they are. They're just all lumped under one generic term. And it's good to remember that even things that say natural fragrances, if it's a vanilla fragrance, it could be beaver butt gland fragrance, which is, the chemical from a musk gland of a beaver smells like vanilla. So even if it says natural, well, yeah, that's natural, but it's not something I want in my body.
Right. So when I went to have my hair cut today, after seeing the lady spray stuff, I walked in to have my hair cut and brought that up to her. And my friend uses doTERRA and orders every month and loves it. And I commented on what she was spraying around, and she picked up a bottle of Febreze and said, yeah, this place stinks. And I buy the extra powerful Febreze stuff so that my room doesn't stink. I was just like, Sharon, you use doTERRA. You're so careful to use doTERRA and all the natural things. Anyway, I will be bringing her a spritzer with some oils in it next time because yeah, I think people just don't realize. And so I picked it up, looked in the ingredients, and sure enough, you know, Febreze is just full of some of these things that we shouldn't be putting around and having on our skin. Okay, 81% of body care products mark gentle or hypoallergenic contain ingredients proven to irritate the skin, eyes, or allergies. Are you kidding me? 81% that say gentle or hyperallergenic contain
Even baby products.
even baby products. Ah, and then over 500 products sold in the US contained ingredients that are banned in Japan, Canada, or Europe.
Yep.
So
And they call it gentle because it's diluted, not because it's not there.
that is a really good point. That is a really good point. So you could make your own, and I have done some of that. I've done my own deodorant, and we could use our doTERRA oils and make our own, or we could use some of doTERRA's products that are already made for us. But home make your own if you want to. I say you've got the oils, go for it. That's a great way to save money. And doTERRA has these awesome lines, and some people love one part of them, another. I'm going to show you the ones I like out of all of this. If you have acne, the HD Clear is a great direction to go. As you're aging, Yarrow Palm is a great direction to go. Actually, any age is really good with that. Virage is something that all ages use. And then the one on the very right, the Essential Skincare Kit, is for aging skin. And so there's all these different toners and scrubs and lotions and possibilities that they've put oils into. All those best oils that we saw, they've taken the time to figure out what's best to put in this product and that product. So if you don't want to make your own, you can just purchase some of these things and figure out what's good for you. We're really going to talk about some details now of how you can decide what's right for you. Here's my favorite. Take a picture of this if you want to. So I'm kind of all over the place because I'm like, I like this Virage one, I like this anti-aging one, and this one, and back to Virage, and then anti-aging. The three on the top I use every day. Every day I use the Virage Moisturizer, the anti-aging eye cream that I put around my eyes, and the facial cleanser while I'm in the shower washing my face. So I use those every day. And then periodically I use the toner that they have, the anti-aging moisturizer that they have, and then the invigorating scrub. Those are the favorite ones that I like to use, in addition to the sunscreen products and the lotion. So we'll talk more about that. So when you're outdoors, please remember to use sunscreen. The sunscreen has got such amazing benefits. And when doTERRA, boy, people have been asking for this for forever. But when they came out with it about a year ago, a little over a year ago, it is just amazing. doTERRA always goes the extra mile. This sunscreen is going to nourish and moisturize your skin. It's water resistant protection for up to 80 minutes. And you are able to there's even an after sun relief spray. So if you've gotten a little overdone in the sun, you can use the after sun product that again will nourish and hydrate your skin. Contains aloe vera. Getting into words I don't know, but all good stuff. doTERRA knows how to put the good stuff in there. And then they've made a new lip balm. And I don't know that the lip balm's available yet. I think it's coming really soon. They just have this little travel pack that's going to have small things of all of these ready to go. But they've even made a sunscreen lip balm that delivers SPF 20 and nourishes the lips. And I probably would not have realized, why is that even necessary? But I remember being on a trek with some youth for about 3 or 4 days many years ago. And I can remember we all got blistered lips. Our lips are not used to being out in the sun so much. And I think I was still using chapstick, but when you're in the sun, 10 hours a day and it's beating down hard on you, it's still too much. And I know a lot of us just have very plump, sore lips because our lips are very tender and need some extra care. So I'm excited. doTERRA is coming out with a lip balm.
The type of tissue that our lips are made out of,
Yeah.
the skin tissue itself is a different type of skin tissue. It has less melanin in it, which is what causes a sun tan. So our lips have less protection, even though they may be rosy and pretty and a different color
Right.
than our cheeks. It's a different, thinner, more a higher nerve structure skin type tissue. It's an epithelial that's a transition between skin and mucous membrane, which is inside of our mouth. So that's why lips are especially sensitive to being sunburned.
Yep, out in the sun. Well, I love that doTERRA takes care of us. They have made these lighter products very, very positive and good for us. This class I went to even said, consider going without makeup in the summer as you go outside. Just put the sunscreen on and don't worry about taking the other things on. And I thought that was a great idea too. All right. Yes, we need vitamin D and we need to be in the sun. That's very good for our bodies. We just don't need to worship the sun. We don't need to stay out there trying to get ourselves tan. And I love the thought it's easier to prevent than correct. And so when we have hurt our bodies by being out in the sun, I got a really bad sunburn once on my arms. I'd worn a short shirt and then went out to do something outside for many hours and had not put sunscreen on, so that the skin that wasn't normally showing got burnt so bad to the point that it was pussy and it just got burnt really bad. And I think of my arms as needing just a little bit more help because I did not prevent, and I have to correct some of the mistakes I made in that area. I feel like my arms are a little bit more tender than they would otherwise be. I put a picture on here of driving with a steering wheel. And one of the things they brought up was even the age spots that we get on our hands and their hands being in the sun while we drive, and even the left hand side of our body with the sun coming in. You might not think you're going to be in the sun, but you need to protect your hands and your body just from that slightly indirect sun that you get while you're driving. Just important to take care of our skin. Shirley and Joe's dad, one of the cancers that he dealt with had to do with skin. And my husband wears a hat everywhere he goes, constantly, just wanting to have that protection and have the sun not damage anything that could turn into the skin cancer. So very important. So this is a suggestion that the lady said. She said, if you wash your face at night and see how your face feels in the morning, this will determine your skin type. Now, it's good habit to be in all the time, but it's just a way to think, okay, if I wash my face clean, if it feels oily in the morning, you probably have oily skin. If it feels very dry, you probably have dry skin, or a combination. So it's a good time to judge what kind of skin you have if you don't know. Thought that was a great suggestion. All right. I had skin removal done. It was December 2018. I was going to say, when was it? I put the date on there. So that was 5.5 years ago. And having lost a lot of weight and had a lot of babies, my mom had given me some money before she died. And I said, do you mind if I use that money to have this surgery done? And a doctor removed 14 pounds of skin. And I had a breast lift at the same time, which I have loved, by the way. Ask me questions, personal questions, if you want, anytime. But what I love about this experience was I was already into doTERRA, and the doctor showed me exactly where he was going to cut. Around my tummy, he even went a little bit around my sides onto my hips. I knew right where he was going to cut on my breast area. And I used Immortelle, which is a little pricey, but it's made with myrrh and frankincense and all of the best oils. And I put those oils on there for weeks, up to 2 months. I think I did it before, knowing right where he was going to cut. So that skin had the best possible chance of coming back. And after it was done, I was a little more hesitant to put things right on. Now I wouldn't be. 5.5 years later, I would be spraying that on there. I would just be, even if it was still open, and I had some wide open spots on my breast for a while. Now I would be spraying something in there. I'll share that with you later. But I wasn't quite brave enough to do that. I made myself wait like a good few weeks before I started putting the oils on it. I still wowed the doctor. He was blown away by how fast my skin healed and looked. And that made me, I know that the oils had something to do with it. And the reason I put another few products on here was, it's really sad to say that I had to go through it again because I didn't take it easy enough. You guys that know me know I have a hard time sitting still and following doctor's orders. And I did too much and I busted the stitches inside where he had stitched the muscles together, where he'd cut things off. So 4 months later, in the next April, I was there for a checkup and I said, things are just not right down here. And he said, you're right. You're having surgery tomorrow. And I said, excuse me? He had retired. I was one of his very last people to do, and he had retired. And he said, yeah, I didn't think I was going to do surgery anymore, but you're having surgery tomorrow. I was just shocked. I was in such shock that I was going to have to go through it again, but I did. And he had to go in and he had to tighten it up and fix it again. And then I didn't lift anything for like 6 months. I was really stringent to make sure I followed the rules that time. I know, Patty. But what was interesting was the first time I had this experience, they had me go get all these prescriptions, prescription for pain and a prescription for the stomach issues that I was going to have from the pain medicine, and then a prescription to help me with the constipation I was going to have from the stomach medicine. It was ridiculous. It was like 6 medicines. And when he decided that one day I was going to have surgery again the next day, he gave me the pile of prescriptions and I went and filled them because we have an insurance and it wasn't that much. And I sat there just looking at him going, woo, what waste. One of those made me have hallucinations. And Joe had to cut the pill in half and give it to me smaller because I was going Lulu. And I didn't take that one again. And I used Deep Blue Poly. I used Correct-X. I used the oils to calm me, to help the inflammation, to help the skin. And I did so much better in the recovery. It wasn't quite as evasive, but I did so much better. So I wanted to share that story with you for the skin aspect, but just also a plug for doTERRA in so many ways, because it just helps us out. All right, essential oils that help soothe, heal, and pamper our skin. Take a picture of this one if you want. Almost every oil is going to be anti-something. That is what oils are. They are antifungal, they are antiseptic, they are antiviral, they are astringent. They help our bodies in different ways naturally. And we're so blessed to have them. But what I love about these products, when I found this list of products that really helps with the skin, was how each one of them had a bonus written on. So yes, you might be using lavender to promote healing and soothe some irritation, but it also soothes anxiety and helps you feel calm at the same time. And so notice that there's bonuses with each one of these. We are so blessed. We get all of the physical help, the scar help, stretch marks, regeneration of cells, all these things, but we also get the bonus of helping us with our concentration, PMS help, fighting colds. What a blessing. What a blessing. I hope you like these slides. I thought they turned out really cute. And then I just want to can't think of the word. Want to mention again, not to use fractionated coconut oil on the face. I still do for some things because I don't have a lot of the others on hand, but I find that a lot of natural people do have some of these other oils on hand. So those are better for the face. It's jojoba, I think is how you say it, rosehip, sweet almond oil, and grape seed oil that are better for the face. Oh, this is such a good story. So I'm in line with Jolene. We're at leadership, and I don't know, the line was just ridiculously long for something we were waiting for. And the people next to us started talking about their daughter and the help that she had gotten with her acne. And I could not believe the pictures they showed us on their phone. And I asked her if I could have a copy of it. And then I got her information so I could later get the exact routine that her daughter used. You take a picture of this and show it to some child that has acne, they will do anything not to have acne. And what a blessing doTERRA is, because they can help naturally. And that child's not going to have the negative side effects that some of the acne medicines and prescriptions out there have. So what this young woman did, she cleansed her face with mild soap. She put lavender all over her face. She used tea tree oil on the acne spots. Mud mask has gone away. They have not, they are, if it's still available, grab it now if you want it. It's one of those things that's not as popular, and they're not going to have it. Phytoestrogens is a supplement. She's kind of got a picture there of all these products there that she took, which helped her hormones to balance. And then to always use the sunblock or the sunscreen. At nighttime, she put helichrysum, blue tansy, and tea tree on the acne spots. And yes, she is a brave girl for sharing, because that's kind of an embarrassing picture to say this is how bad it was. But look how gorgeous she looks and how it turned out for her. I do not remember how long she said she did it for, but if you share this with anybody and they have success, please, please, please share it with us. It just makes my heart so happy.
And it's important to say that even though acne can be a normal response to hormonal changes that teenagers go through, acne can lead to scarring, and it can also harbor very, very dangerous microbiological, bacterial, fungal things in the skin that can then become endemic in the body. Now, I'm not saying people will die of acne. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that it presents the opportunity through cystitis infection in the skin to become part of what is normalized and accepted by the body. And so it's not always about looks. Sometimes it's about root cause for healthy outcomes.
Love it. Thank you, Patty. So important. We want to help. Help, help, help. All right, I've got a great story, a mastectomy story. I used to be on a Facebook page where people would share their experiences, and I had to print it out because I was so amazed with this woman's experience. She said, I had a double mastectomy, and after they pulled the stitches, the wound started to open up. It was so bad they were talking about me needing another surgery. It was deep, and the opening was over an inch on either side and really deep. She was taking many of the oils, LLV, DDR Prime, PB Assist, Terrazyme. She was spraying lavender and tea tree oil blended with FCO onto it. It was not getting infected, so I was thankful for that. And the wound doctor said it would just take a really long time to close up. She actually put in the PS at the bottom, the doctor just said, take these antibiotics. And she said, basically, I didn't get any further help from the doctor. Sorry to say. So she said she decided to add rose oil. Now, rose is very expensive. It takes doTERRA, I can't even remember, 5,000 or something.
10,000 blooms.
10,000 little blooms to make one little 5 ml bottle. And that's why it's so expensive. But you can now get the Rose Touch, which already comes diluted, and it's more reasonably priced. I think I should say, because you're probably curious, I think the Rose, I don't know, I bought it with points. I think it was like 225 points that I spent on it. But the Rose Touch is only, I think it's 70, 75, I can't, but a lot less. And then you have the rose already diluted, ready to be used. She said, I use the rose oil from the rollerball and Arbor Vitae to my blend of lavender and melaleuca spray. In 1 week, the improvement was unreal. Within 3 weeks, these huge gaps were closed. And she said, I'm convinced that the rose oil is the bomb. And I just thought, if I heard of anybody with a healing wound, that you might want to give it to try. Then somebody below said, did you add water to your spray or just fractionated coconut oil? She said, I added fractionated coconut to it. I did it on a spray because I wanted to keep it where I was not touching the areas, and it worked great. And I thought that was a brilliant idea. Wish I'd known that before I had my surgery. She says, Rose, it's expensive, but man, it sure does the job. I just poured some out for my rollerball as that is cheaper. And then she said, of course, Rose has the highest frequency of any oil. That's why it's so phenomenal. And the last thing she said, I am doing all natural with recovery and doing well. And I have to tell you, my husband saw how bad it was and was totally shocked when I showed him the improvement in 3 weeks. It was jaw dropping. Anyway, I thought that was awesome for anybody that's having any kind of surgery. I've done similar things with people that have had knee surgery and hip surgery and things whenever they've got open wounds. Now I know, tell them to put some of these great oils in there and just spray it on and let the goodness get right where it needs to be. So I thought that was a great story that you would enjoy. We're doing great on time. I don't know a lot about, I don't even know how to say it. Is it eczema? Eczema, is that how you say it?
Yep, it's eczema.
Eczema. Okay. Not eggs, eczema. I found lots of different possibilities here. I have helped some adults with it, and I have suggested Terrazyme. I know when the gut is having, it's getting the help of Terrazyme, which is whole food enzymes helping your body digest and get the best out of your food and helping you eliminate the rest. To me, that was life-changing for the person I shared it with that really got a lot of help as an adult. But a child, you're not going to be giving them a pill to take. And I found all these different remedies, but similar oils in the different ones: helichrysum, frankincense, lavender, geranium. Melaleuca is also tea tree. So just be aware that doTERRA, call it Melaleuca, now has changed it to tea tree. It's the same thing. It's just they're using a different name. But a lot of different varieties there. And this picture that I found had the doTERRA oils down the side, and that is before, 5 days in, 10 days in, and then I took off the date on the last on my picture, but it was 12 weeks in for the last picture. And that was putting these oils and using the oils on a baby. Something we can do to help them when they have these skin issues. It is so frustrating to have a baby. You're trying everything. I have one customer says, we've just tried everything. We've tried going to all of the baby soaps, and now we know those aren't all perfect either. And the detergents so that we're washing our clothes appropriately. My friend Christina Rivera put a post up recently. She said, I bought the all detergent that said environmentally safe on it, big gallon container. And she said it had gotten knocked over in the garage before I had used it. And it had been there for quite a while. She took a picture, and the detergent had eroded the cement where it had come out of the bottle. That was an environmentally friendly detergent that eroded the cement. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my goodness, we are so blessed to have doTERRA, but even some of the things we think we're doing okay if we use environmentally friendly things aren't. And this customer that was trying to clean the sheets with the right stuff and use the baby stuff, they're doing everything they can, but this would be the next step. So take a picture of this if you know anybody that's suffering with this. However, another great suggestion is just to use the lotion. So you take the doTERRA lotion, it's all natural. And I've shared the story probably too many times of a little girl at church sitting next to me that I could tell her hands were just full of eczema and soreness. And I asked her mom if I could put this lotion on her, and she said, no, it'll burn her. She can't have lotion. I said, I think my lotion will be okay. Here I was in church and not sure it would be okay, but it was. I put the lotion on her hands. She had no response, and she got relief and was so appreciative to have that. So doTERRA's made this wonderful lotion, but they did not put a scent to it. The joy is you can put some lotion in your hand and put a couple of drops of any oil that you want, and you get the benefit of a pure natural oil with the oil that will most benefit what you're trying to accomplish. So this one even comes in a 3-pack in these big tubes. And that's what I do. I keep it on hand because it's such a great way to get help in any way with your skin. And the last slide I wanted to share with you was, if you do anything, try and be brave and take a before picture. Because boy, oh boy, it would be so great to share and see the after picture. Rather it's somebody you're helping or yourself or a family member, please consider doing that, because think of the story of you having success, or your friend or your family member having success, just like that girl with acne. And let's share, because if we share, then we have a chance to say, look, this natural thing worked for me. Maybe it'll help somebody else along the way too. Any questions? Or I kind of really rambled on that one and gave you lots of information. Any questions?
Can I just share one more thing?
Go ahead.
Oh.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's do Glenda and then we'll do Mara.
My daughter-in-law was pregnant, and then she asked me if I had any grapefruit oil, and I got her a bottle of it, and all of her stretch marks were gone.
Woohoo!
And when you mentioned the grapefruit oil, I wanted to share that.
That
thanks.
is fantastic. Yep. That grapefruit oil. And there's an emotional part of the grapefruit oil that also gives you a feeling of self-worth for your body. And I remember reading the emotional book just probably 2 months into me putting the oil all over my body after my surgery. And I just started to bawl. I was on an airplane. I started to bawl because I thought, I am appreciating my body more. Emotionally, I was getting that help too. It was awesome. Thank you for sharing that, Glenda. All right, Mara.
Okay, I'm using your grapefruit too on my arms.
Woo-hoo-hoo!
I remember like a couple of years ago or something, I heard you saying that, and I thought, I am tired of my flabby arms, so I'm going to try something. And I finally found my notes from that time, and I was
Yay.
like, grapefruit. So I used the lotion that you mentioned, and I pushed it in my hands and rubbed that on my arms. So I'm seeing some mild success there.
Good.
I had a couple of questions. Many things, lavender was recommended. My daughter, who could really use the effects of lavender, really does not like lavender. Is there any
Yeah.
substitute? She prefers like the sandalwood, cedarwood kind of scent as opposed to the lavender scent
Mhm.
for calming. But
So, yeah, Patty, what's your response? Or was that, did you have a response or
Okay,
question?
yeah, so the lavender for calming is the monoterpene linalool alpha, and all of the floral oils, lavender, jasmine, magnolia, rose, and blue lotus have this linalool alpha in it that is a supporter for serotonin. Now, my son, autistic son, used lavender roll-on, I mean, not the lavender, sorry, the magnolia roll-on, because I cannot tolerate the smell of lavender. But the other floral oils worked. The alpha pinene, however, is the ingredient that's the constituent in the wood oils that calls that that grounding effect. Cedarwood, frankincense, Hawaiian sandalwood, and guaiac wood. Those all have that alpha pinene in it that help to calm somatic nerves and anxiety. So it would, if your daughter's response needs an anxiety reducer, I would go with a wood oil with an alpha pinene constituent in it, and you can find that in our Fabulous Oils Bible. And if she needs a serotonin boost for relaxation, then I would go with a floral oil. Or you know what? Go with adaptive and get both of them wrapped up in one.
Yeah. And I've only run into one person that doesn't like the smell of adaptive. So that would definitely. Yeah. Lavender's not my favorite smell either, Mara. But the other thing I would say is I have learned to absolutely love some of the scents I hated when I started 10 years ago because of what they do for me. Serenity, I just couldn't handle it because it was so lavender forward. I was similar to that and I just couldn't handle it. Now I almost can't go to sleep without it. I have a spray that I put water with Serenity in it and I spray my pillow because just laying down on the cool pillow, I'm a hot sleeper, just the coolness and that smell puts me right to sleep. And I used to hate it.
Yeah.
So,
And I would like to put a testimonial in for that After Sun. Oh my gosh, last year I forgot to put sunscreen on and I went out into the middle of a Kansas horse field and played with some four-legged fur babies about 4 times my size. And I came back after about an hour in the sun without any protection, and I was red and raw and feverish. And I sprayed the After Sun on me, and less than 10 minutes later, I was comfortable. I was able to maintain my body temperature went down. The After Sun is an amazing product, and I do not leave home without it anymore.
love it. I'm going to girls
Okay.
camp next week. I think I'll bring some.
How fun.
Oh,
I have another
yes, Laura.
question. This same daughter is having her tonsils out next month.
How old is
Is
she?
there any protocol or thing that could be recommended to help with that? Because it's internal. So
Yeah. How old is she?
34.
Yeah. So I had my tonsils out as an adult. So my personal experience was not positive. My throat hurt
That's what I've heard.
as bad a week after I got home as it did the first day I got home. It did not get better for it took 10 days before I started feeling better.
Okay.
Oil wise, anybody, Patty, Jolene, if you have suggestions, do you have any suggestions what you would do?
I was,
You're both muted.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're both
Yes, I
talking and
have
you're
a
both muted.
suggestion. It's the recipe for the sore throat spray that we have for the booth.
Yes, that's
Yeah,
clove,
that would be my
cinnamon,
suggestion, but
and
I have to
On Guard.
beg off now because I have to go to the airport. I'm on my way home.
You're
Love you
amazing.
guys.
Thanks for all your
you.
input, Patty. Jolene,
Bye.
what were your thoughts, Jolene?
the first place that I go with it is to prepare beforehand. So the On Guard, DDR Prime. Have you heard much about the DDR Prime? It really,
Not too
The
much.
oil or the supplement?
I would do the supplement
Mhm.
before. Afterwards, I'd use the oil.
Yeah.
But do the On Guard and the DDR Prime internally beforehand.
Mhm. It's going to help
And
the
Okay.
immune system.
Unfortunately, I won't see her too much before. I'm
Right.
going up to help with the
After,
aftercare, but
yeah.
Okay, well, both of them are good for if as soon as she can swallow, but if she can't swallow, then the oils are good. It's just that usually the supplements have a little bit of extra stuff in them that makes them a little bit more powerful on the cellular level.
If I
So
were,
okay.
if
I
I
would
were to go through that today, I would be finding the oils that brought me peace, have them ready to be diffusing, putting on me, just anything that would help me, maybe adaptive, things that would just
Uh-huh.
zen you out because your body is trying to heal. That is just not a fun thing.
So what was the sore throat spray that
That is
she
clove,
mentioned?
cinnamon, and On Guard with water, and you just shake it, and just a drop each in a little tiny spray bottle. And that is just it actually anesthetizes.
Anesthetized.
Yeah.
I know. I love clove.
Yes,
And that's
get that benefit.
marvelous for melting.
Yeah, she just needs to zen herself into feeling better. And I'm so sorry. It is a rough
And
thing.
she has suffered with anxiety her whole life.
So
She's
maybe
been on
this
lots of
experience-
medications and stuff.
Okay,
If
maybe
she-
this experience with adaptive and other things that will help her be calm, maybe that'll give her a good boost in that direction.
I hope.
So but she is open to the oils.
Yes.
Okay.
She loves things, and she actually requested a diffuser, and so I got her that. And
Yay.
Well,
she loves particularly grapefruit, but she's afraid to take it internally because it's some of her medications say don't eat grapefruit while you're having this, and I kept like, but it's from the peel of the grapefruit. It's not from.
yeah.
And she's like, well, I just don't want to risk it.
Mara,
Like,
did you
okay.
watch last week's recording with Dr. D?
did not.
Okay,
I have
he
not.
specifically talked about grapefruit and taking medicines and that. So I'm gonna send you the link to that too. I'm sorry, I don't know
Thank
where it
you.
is, but he talked about that. Maybe her hearing a doctor say it
Good.
might
Yes,
feel better.
and she would. She trusts doctors.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So
and I was sad I missed that. But thank you for sending the link. Yes.
just another thing, since she is open to it, and you're talking a lot about anxieties and feelings and, you know, all of that stuff coming up, that when you
Okay.
address the emotional side of it with the oils, it's so powerful. Have you ever experienced emotions with the oils?
Not particularly that
Okay.
I mean, other
Oh.
than, uplifting with citrus and that type of thing, but
There's a whole lot more to it that you can do
yeah.
with it, the power. So if you would like to experience it, but then if your daughter, whether it's before she goes or when she's
Mhm.
there, I would be happy to show you how to use that and do a couple of them with you guys. In it,
Okay.
yeah, I could take a whole hour with just testimonials about the difference that I've had with others, and especially when there's ailments going on and a
Mhm.
lot of emotions going on.
Okay. Well, maybe that's something we could do when I'm up there with her. So I'm going
Okay.
to Idaho. So,
Let us know
but
how
okay.
it goes. Let us know how it goes.
Thank you.
All right,
I
next-
appreciate all the advice.
You bet. Next month on June 26th, Jolene will be teaching us about summer cooking with the oils. So excited for that. So fun. Thanks for being here, everybody. And those of you who watched the recording, wish you could have been here live. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.